Yeah, no, true. And you know what? I remember seeing when I was young, specifically around like popular diets, and
Hmm.
they would have a celebrity endorsement and being like, maybe it was like, I remember seeing Oprah, I remember seeing Jennifer Aniston, I remember seeing Christy Alley,
Kirsty.
RIP. Yeah. And I
She was a
remember
bitch.
seeing like their before and then their after.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, wow. So I'm sure if
Jessica
other people are
Simpson.
seeing that,
Yeah.
yeah, right. And it's like, oh, if they can do it, I can do it too.
The results, because they saw results and you want results. Kirstie Alley and Oprah, I remember it being Slim Fast Shake. I know for sure Oprah lost a lot of weight in the 90s on the Slim Fast Shake. I think Kirstie did something of it, and then she went to Weight Watchers.
Mm-hmm.
And Jessica Simpson was also
Yeah.
a big Weight Watchers spokesperson. However, in her autobiography, because I'm into autobiographies lately, she basically said that she was on a lot of diet pills for most of her life. And they had like a speed amphetamine like effect that she could drink all the time, be awake all the time, never eat anything. And
Oh my God.
I mean, in her drinking days, she got quite bloated. But before that, in her newlywed days, when she was really hot on the pop scene, she was always on diet pills. And that's why she would get skinny. So when I see her in pictures today and she's like, people are so concerned about her weight and stuff, I'm like, she's just doing what she used to do. She's on whatever new diet thing is happening, whatever restrictive diet thing is happening. So yes, I don't
and
believe
she's also
that
had like 3 kids. So like, relax, people.
But you wouldn't think that by seeing her though, because she's smaller than her eldest daughter. So it's like, girl, I know you're on Ozempic, so stop.
Mm-hmm.
I
remember being in the car and like seeing the Weight Watchers buildings.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
and I think, and I think they had a fitness center in there, I think, and then I think they had different. Did they, or am I making that up? They had different.
I don't know.
People are like, come out, and we'll tell you all about it and everything. I remember seeing that, and I just remember seeing the celebrity endorsements.
I can't say if that was a real thing or not. I definitely remember it was all about points. So it was just another way of doing restrictive eating, but in a way that was healthy, being like, you're going to eat this and that's like real life, but it has this many points. You have this many points for the day. How you choose to allot your points is up to you. I never did it, but I knew I had a friend or a friend's sister that was doing it. There were meals you could purchase. I definitely purchased meals before. It wasn't for Weight Watchers. It was some other thing when I was in my 20s or something, like $300 down the drain. The food was disgusting. I ate like one and then I just didn't eat anything else after that. I didn't eat anything.
Oh my gosh.
Where it's like, oh, if I get these pre-created meals with a certain amount of calories, then I don't have to worry about thinking this through, but a waste of money.
Jeez.
Jennifer Aniston.
But I feel like now it's changed. Like now there's like keto.
Yeah.
There's plant-based, there's vegan, gluten-free, Mediterranean diet.
Paleo, intermittent fasting, low carb, Whole30, flexitarian, planetarian. That's not a real one. The newest one is the Ozempic, which is the injection of the semaglutide that helps like regulate your blood sugar by releasing more insulin and keeping food in your stomach for longer, so that you stay fuller for a longer period of time, and then you end up eating less.
But like, is that healthy?
I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to say I can't say whether or not it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy for those women that are already skinny that are using it to get skinnier. I think for those that have struggles, those who have diabetes, like type 2 diabetes, or those who maybe have like PCOS where weight loss is a struggle, that it helps them. But again, it has to be managed because there are downsides. Lisa Marie Presley, who recently passed away, who was very slim, by the way. I didn't even know she had gastric sleeve surgery or some kind of surgery of like stomach stapling, stomach condensing.
Wow.
Died from, she did that surgery. She was on Ozempic and she had an intestinal blockage. What? Like those things are unnecessary to me. Celebrities who are really skinny right now, Mindy Kaling, who got skinny over a period of like 2 years, and she's like, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. And you look at her in the pictures and I'm like, girl, your hair is very thin, which means that something is not right. Like you are nutrient deficient. I just eat small bites of the things I love. Lies.
It's like, okay, yeah, okay. But like, don't tell people that because you're a
Yeah,
public figure and people are
exactly.
looking up to you and they're like, well, then I'll do that. If she's doing that, I can do that. It's like,
Well,
no, don't say that.
the reality is she's not being honest about what she's doing. So I'm like, people are
Well,
going to do
none of
what
them
they want to
are.
do. Yeah. Well, that's the problem. It's like people are going to do what they want to do anyway. So I'm not knocking Ozempic as like somebody's solution. I'm not, but don't lie to me about it. Like all of a sudden you've now figured out the whole way of like getting in tune with your body and meditating and sitting in the sun. And now all of a sudden you're like skinny bitch. Like stop.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I read online that the average adult will try about 126 different diets in their lifetime.
Ooh.
Are you kidding? That's a lot.
That is so much. I'm trying to think about how many diets I've done in my life. So I bought the meals. That's one. When I was super restrictive with my diet, I basically brought my sugar count down to 0, but I wasn't monitoring it or anything, but I wouldn't eat anything with sugar. I stopped eating bread, like all of that. That didn't have a name at the time. I've done keto. I definitely done intermittent fasting. I would say I've been doing that my whole life though, because I was never a breakfast person. So I never ate breakfast really. What else have I done? I done Atkins before keto was a thing.
Oh, and that I think that was the first. Was that the
Well, I've done
first
another
diet
one.
that came out, or like one of the most popular ones?
No, there was the Zone, which is Jennifer Aniston's diet, which is the Zone is like what probably would people call now be like, I forget what it's called, but it's like how many macros do you eat a day? The breakdown of like protein versus vegetable or carbohydrate versus fats. So it was another version of keto and macros, but just called something different. I never did that.
And you know what? I don't know, irks me. It's that all these celebrities are all in all these diets, or they have their private chefs making, their well-balanced meals.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, just do it. Like, you can do it. Anyone can do it. It's like, no, bitch. Everyone has 9-to-5 jobs, or they have jobs and they got other shit and they got responsibilities and they got to go grocery shopping and they have to cook. Like, it's not as easy as you're like saying it is.
I did try vegan for a little bit. I just got a vegan delivery service, but I'd be shitting myself multiple times a day. I could not sustain that.
It's all coming out.
Exactly. But thank God I was working remote. But literally, like, I'm like, who goes to the bathroom 4 times a day?
Truly.
I couldn't. My
Which one do you think? Because out of all the ones you've tried, which one do you think was your favorite? And you don't have to be on it right now, but which one did you did you not like any of them?
Well, I haven't named them all. I think I definitely tried Slim Fast for a little bit. Eventually just drinking like a powdery shake got to me. There was one that I did for a little bit where it was called, I think, the Shangri-La diet, where it was based on this study this guy did with himself of being like, if I eat something really sugary, he was in Europe or something, it's like, and I drink a soda every day, for some reason I wouldn't have any appetite to eat anything else for the rest of the day, and I lost all this weight and I was walking. So it was this thing of like a tablespoon or 2 teaspoons of sugar in a glass of water in the morning, and allegedly that would cause you to basically not have an appetite all day. And I did that. I don't know how many weeks I did that for. And I don't remember if it worked. This was when I was still living at home. So I was like, this may be university age or something. It was a book that my mom or dad had in the house. That's how I found it. And I don't even know how they got it because they're not diet people. And then how many other ones have I tried? I want to say I'll try everything once, but that's not true. I was vegetarian for a while.
Oh, good for you. That's
when I first moved out and I was cooking for myself. I was like, I don't really want to cook a lot of meat, so I would just not cook meat.
That's
I still struggle.
When you were talking about the sugar one and putting it into the water, the thing that I thought of was like, remember, I think it was like a documentary or a movie too, and it was like about the McDonald's, how the guy went to McDonald's every day for like 30 days or something for all of his meals. Don't you remember that? I forget what it was called though.
Yeah, it's called like Super Size Me, but he got fatter and more unhealthy.
Yes.
It's not like Jared from Subway who would eat Subway every day and lost all that weight. Remember that? And then remember when he turned out to be a pedophile and now he's in prison? Yeah, fun.
Yikes. But, so there's a lot of diets you can do if you choose to.